series on, wow, the sun is right on my face. It's afternoon. So I'll be standing, I'll just stay up. It's okay. So I'll be continuing some of the series that I started last Sunday on the bad habits of Jesus. Right? The bad habits of Jesus. And we said, as followers of Jesus Christ, we need to emulate his habits. Not just learning his teachings, but also what he taught and how he lived out and how to relate it, but also his principles of his habits, how he's lived out his habits. And also said that if we were to emulate his habits, live out how he lived out, it will get us into more trouble than benefit us. So that's why you said it's a bad habits of Jesus. It's bad in a sense that it's bad according to our standard. We would not do these things, but it's good and desirable for God's standard. If we were to live in God, the habits that Jesus lived out, and we would probably put ourselves into a situation where we would be much more in trouble, like Jesus was in trouble with some of the higher places people in the past. So last Sunday, we touched on his habit of, he had this habit of befriending and welcoming the bad and ugly people in society. And that really got him into a trouble. Out of many things that he was persecuted because he hung out with a bad crowd of people, right? A lot of people in the higher place, they just didn't like the rabbis to be hanging out with a bad crowd of people. But he did continue to do that, and then he turned people's lives inside and out and changed them, and they became the mentor. He took the mantle of his leadership, and they became apostles and disciples of Jesus later, and they changed the world along the way. So in that sense, a bad habit. So this week, it's speaking about one other habit. So Jesus was in the habit of procrastinating. Jesus procrastinated, and in today's text, that cost somebody's life. That's bad, isn't it? That's really bad. Now let me ask you folks, how many of you actually are procrastinators? Like some, holy cow, okay. You don't have to be so honest. Some of you are probably instead of putting things off that you're supposed to do, but you do some pleasurable things because you just don't want to tackle that right away. So you just, instead of doing your homework, you watch television, right? Some of you probably have done that, right? And some of you probably have your final exams coming up very soon. You're supposed to prepare for about 2 weeks beforehand, right? But you're like in 2 days right before you have all-night standards, right? You have 2 nights and you don't sleep, you just study, and then in the morning of final exam, you feel like a zombie. And that was not that good, wasn't it? Procrastinating. Not good. It's bad. I am not a procrastinator. I tend to do things on time. But some things I take my time, I delay, I procrastinate. Like, for example, I still haven't reported, I still haven't notified my financial agencies and government agencies of my address change. It's been over 1 year since I moved from Kelowna to Vancouver. I still haven't notified. I know I'm supposed to. I should do that. I still haven't done that. Maybe I'll notify them after I find some kind of permanent place, like permanent house. Well, house is out of question. Okay, so let's not say house. Maybe I'll find a permanent, like condominium if I can afford to do that. Maybe I'll just report, notify them. I have 5 recalls on my 2015 Nissan Rogue. Some manufacturing issues about 3 years ago when I bought it, and still haven't took my car into service yet. Supposed to. I know I should do that, but I haven't done that yet. Maybe I'll just take my car in right before I trade it in for the new car. Probably will do that. Certain things it's okay to procrastinate, you delay, and it's okay. It's not going to really cost you. It's okay. But some other things, if you procrastinate, if you just delay, it's gonna really cost you a lot. Really cost you a lot. Like for me, it's like replacing your water line in your house. So I still have a house in Kelowna. So 2016, I bought a house, and it's an old house. Like 50 years old. Not that old compared to some other houses, but it's still old. So in the year that I bought, 2016, within 1 year we had 4 water leakages. 4 water leakages in our basement. The first one happened like right after we had our tenants downstairs. There was water leakage in the kitchen ceiling, and that just really wet the whole area. So we went down there, I gutted the whole section, and then I realized I need to call a plumber. So I called a plumber, and it cost me like several $100s to fix the small pinhole. I tell you, a small pinhole, several $100, and realized, and I said to myself, I'm in the wrong profession right here. I need to be a plumber, not a teacher. Yes. And the second leakage happened about in 2016. In the fall of 2016, I was in Korea guiding ministers from here, about 7 ministers in our conference. We were doing official function from our conference and then Presbyterian Church in Korea. We were doing some sort of partnership. So I was guiding them over there. And what happened was 2 days into my visit over there, I was about to leave for a meeting in that morning, and then I got a call from Canada. I got a call, and it's a renter from downstairs. He said, it's leaking again. He said, it's about the same place. He said, you gotta be kidding me. She said, no, I'm not kidding. I said, so just turn up the water valve. And she said, I don't know where's the water valve is. I said, you gotta be kidding me. She said, no, I'm not kidding. So I said, so I dragged her to over water tap over there in the main water tap, and she said, she came back again, I cannot, close it. I said, why not? She said, it's too hard to turn it. So I said, you gotta be kidding. So I called, we called our neighborhood guy, and he came, and he just turned off the whole thing. And we had to call the plumber, and it cost us another extra a few $100 right there. So after 2 emergencies like that, I said, okay, I'm gonna really have to call the plumber to replace the whole thing, because the house is about 50 years old. It's a copper pipes, water lines. So once you have one leakage, and it usually happens later on. So I said to myself, we gotta replace the whole thing. But I forgot about it. I forgot about it. And then about a month after I came back from Korea, another leakage happened. This time it was on the living room. And it just soaked the whole carpet that I laid on that summer, like a whole fresh new carpet, like spent several $1,000s put it over there, just soaking wet over there. So it was on Saturday evening, so it cost, I called the plumber extra money, right? And like tomorrow is like Sunday morning is my sermon. I have all of that's happening, so it's a call again, and then I had to gut it the whole thing, and then took out the carpet pad, and then took out 3 days to dry the whole area. So and then what happened was 3 weeks later, another leakage happened. So 4 within 1 year. So after 4 water leakages, I finally called the plumber to replace the whole entire house water line. So I learned 2 valuable lessons out of this. Certain things you don't procrastinate. It's going to cost you financially and emotionally, right? And toll on you. The other part is that in my next life, I will be a plumber. Now, I'm not going into any details about some of the reasons why some people are much more procrastinating than some other people. I'm not going to go into all this psychological profile of serial procrastinators. I'm not going into all of that. And I'm not going to go into how to cure the habit of procrastinations, because there's some proverb somewhere I heard that you can't teach an old dog new trick. So I remember that. So certain habits you just cannot change, So I'm not going to go into all of any of this. But what I want to say is that not all forms of procrastinations are bad. Not all forms of procrastinations are bad. In fact, most creative people, they tend to procrastinate. So that's, if you are a procrastinator, that's good news, isn't it? And that's very good news. You're not alone. You are in good company. Even Jesus procrastinated. So in today's text, Jesus was called upon to heal this daughter, 12-year-old daughter, Jairus. And so this was like a 911 call. Okay, this is like life and death situation. She's about to die. You gotta be there right now, right? A 911 call. So he's supposed to be there right there, right now, and nothing to distract him. Just go over there, but he took his time. Right? He took his sweet time, and he took his time to heal this woman who came to reach out to him. And then he took his time with all the demand of all the crowd who were hanging around over there to actually for his needing his help. And he just took his sweet time. And then what happened was that there was a messenger came from this daughter's house, and she died. While he was attending to all of these other things, she died. And then the father should not bother Jesus to actually come over there to heal her because she died. So that's what he procrastinated, and this little girl died. So what's going on? Why did he take his time? Why did he stall? I mean, when you've been called and when you've been you have this mission and 911 call in emergency situation, you gotta be there on time. You cannot be distracted by other things, right? I mean, what's more important than saving a girl's life? You gotta be there. You got a mission to accomplish. You gotta be on time. You cannot be distracted by other things. There's a mission to accomplish. You have to be there right on time. But Jesus took his time. Now, if I were Jesus, if I were Jesus, I probably were there, right there. Nothing would bother. Nothing would distract me. I would be from here to there, like a tunnel vision, right? I would have this tunnel vision right there. Just go there. Just from here to there, I'll just go there right away and just accomplish my mission. Like on Fridays and Saturdays, for me, it's quite, I'm very focused. Because Sunday is looming, right? Sunday morning is coming. I have a mission to accomplish. I cannot relax on Fridays and Saturdays. When you see me on Fridays and Saturdays, I look quite relaxed, but I'm pretending. Really, like here is like churning. It's like here is like, but I love folks. I do that because I pretend well, right? So on Fridays and Saturdays, I'm like a different time zone. I'm in another side of the moon. I'm like in a twilight time zone. I'm not there. So my focus is totally there for the mission to accomplish. I have this tunnel vision. And I have this time over there, and I have to finish it. Even God says, Richard, can I talk to you? I said, God, can you just wait? I'll come back to you after Sunday service. Okay, just come on, God, just stay away. That's how focused I am on First Sunday. And the mission to fulfill, there's a time, the sense of timing. But Jesus took his time. What's going on here? Let's talk about time. Not everybody has living in the same time zone. Now, when I say time zone, I don't mean like Pacific time zone or Mountain time zone. I'm talking about your internal time clock and how everybody operates. Not everybody operates with the same speed of time, internal time clock. Right? Not everybody is living in the same time zone. And so I've done, for my ministry, I've done several different cultures. And different cultures, they operate in different time zones. So I did 2 years of First Nations ministries back in the 90s. They operate differently than North Americans and the rest of the people. They have their own time zone. It's called Indian time. They call it Indian time. So what happens is that on Sunday morning, there are several times it happens. Sunday mornings, we usually 10 o'clock worship service. So I'm there, I'm on top, right there. 10 o'clock, they stop, right? And there's nobody there. Except myself, my wife, and 2 children. Okay, so 4 of us, and where's everybody? And then nobody, so what we have, so I preside, I preach, and my wife, she plays piano, and then my children just sit there and listen to me for whole. So we have our worship service. So around 11 o'clock we finish, and about time to go, and then this person comes one after another. They come to worship service and say, "Are you kidding me? It's finished, right?" But they come in, so I have to do another worship service, right? Indian time. If we were to 11 o'clock, they would show up 12 o'clock, right? You see, so not everybody is living in the same time zone. You understand what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Not everybody. Their pace of life is different. Their internal clock is operating differently. We people in North America, in North America and Korea, we tend to live in this very strict time zone, internal clock. We are living in a very fast and furious and hurry time zone. When we have a mission to accomplish, we have to finish it. From here to there, nothing will distract us. We'll just go over there and accomplish right there, right? Like, anybody been to Korea? Right, my wife and the two. Anybody been to Korea? Okay. Like Koreans, they're like hurry time zone. Their pace of life is fast and furious. I'm talking about fast and furious. Their motto is like hurry. Bali. That's what you talk to Koreans, say Bali, they'll understand. Okay. Hurry time zone. Their pace of life is hurry, fast and furious. If you were to go to restaurants in Korea, especially in lunchtime, it doesn't take you they take you about 20 minutes and that's it. 5 minutes and the food will come out and then you will eat within 5 to 10 minutes and then you're gone. If you were to stay there more than 30 minutes, the servers will look at you and they say, "What's going on with this person? There's something strange about this person. Why is this person sitting there," right? I'm talking about fast and furious, hurry. Everything is hurry, right? And they like to eat, Koreans like to eat like this, like a real spicy, food, like extremely spicy and hot, boiling hot, food. It's not really good for human consumption, but they eat that, right? Yeah. And usually it takes about 10 minutes to cool it down to eat it, but they just eat it and within 5 to 10 minutes, and they finish it hurry times. We're changing now, yeah. We're gradually changing, we're civilized, right? So this is that's what's happening, but this is happening in North America as well. We're living in a fast and furious, hurry time zone. Our internal, we operate in this internal clock, it's very fast. We have certain missions to accomplish and we have to finish it on time. We live in this calendar and this time and we have to meet it. Nothing will distract us. Nothing. And then we have this tunnel vision. And nothing will distract. And from here to there, we have to accomplish. It's one mission after another mission we have to accomplish. A fast and furious and hurry time zone. We humans tend to, our time, sense of time, we are confined with your linear time zone. That we are confined with deadlines, with schedules, with a to-do list, confined within this linear, because calendars and missions that we have to accomplish. Where God is much more proactive. God is not confined within linear time zone. God operates above the chronology of time. God has God's own time. Jesus accomplished his mission in his own time. Not theirs, not ours. Demand was upon him, given to him, upon him to actually accomplish the demand on time. If not, there will be consequences. But Jesus takes his time, not letting the demand and time to dictate what he wants to do, because he was operating above the chronology of all the demands and times. Operating above. Jesus took his time to do what he wanted to do, what he needed to do, because it was not the right timing to do it. He stalled to do what he needed to do because there's time and procedures in every matter under heaven. So high procrastination for Jesus was not really about putting up things to do for later, but it's really about waiting on the right time, God's time, the fullness of kairos of God's time. And that really conflicted with the schedules and times of everybody else. The way of procrastination was not about delaying, but it's really about aligning his pace of life with God's time. Not being dictated by all the demands and times, but we align his pace of life with the fullness of God's time. We have our spiritual formation classes. We're trying to learn how to wait on God, how to listen, how to learn, how to wait on God. It's a timing. And it requires a discipline, a great deal of discipline to actually really understand what God's timing is, discern what's right time for us to act, what's right time for us to actually delay. It's a spiritual discipline that requires a great deal of training, in the habit of waiting on God. So let me ask you folks, how are you doing in aligning your life with God's time? You see, there's a chronology of time we call babies come in they're born like 10 months, right? Usually, right? Is it? Oh, sorry. 10 months or 9 months? 9 months. When did it change? 9 months. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking something else. Okay. So 9 months, right? But baby will come in fullness of time. Right, folks? You can't hurry it. It's fullness of God's time. So it's not about procrastination. It's what the habit of Jesus is not, but Jesus aligned himself with the right time, that God's time to act on certain things. In his own time, Jesus went later to heal his daughter, this little girl. In his own time, he took his rest, time to glorify God, time to heal, and later on, time, he says, time to offer my life for the glory of God. He said, all is finished. So how are you doing, folks, in your own pace of life? So not talking about just delaying, procrastination. That's not what it is. How are you doing in this habit of listening, waiting on God's time in your own personal life? How is your pace of life? Is your pace of your life is aligned with God's time in your issues that you face, the challenges that you face? How are you? How are we in our church ministry? Is it time to listen more? Is it time to act? How is our pace of ministry? Is it time to actually go out there? Is it time to discern? It's aligning ourselves with this rhythm, the God's rhythm. That's the habit that Jesus is teaching us today through the scripture. He procrastinated, but he was listening, he was waiting for the right time to heal. Bad, but it's awesome from God's standard, isn't it? There are certain things we need to take time to do it, right? Like, when I receive emails, much more personal emails, I take time to respond. I don't respond right away, right? Do you do that? Like emails, especially when you're When you receive certain emails, it just gets you, right? And then you want to respond right away, but it's a good habit to actually wait till tomorrow to respond, right? Forgiveness takes time, doesn't it? It doesn't happen like that. I'm sorry and you go with it. You know, it's a process. Right? So it takes time for forgiveness to grow. But certain things you need to do it right away. Right? Broken relationship, you need to go right away to mend it. Right? Don't let your anger linger until tomorrow. Do something about it tonight. You gotta do it right away. Timing. Right? Timing. When God calls us to do certain things, we gotta do it right away. We can't wait. So let me once again ask you, how is your rhythm of life, pace of life? Is it aligning with God's time? How is our ministry, the pace of our ministry, is it aligning with God's time? Well, let's sing a song that we sang